kids have been working very hard, and we're really excited for you to hear them. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Steve Straka.
And thank you. Last year when we still had some restrictions, we weren't sure exactly what we were doing. Normally we would have the kids, the students in the back, we'd warm them up and stuff, but I felt it worked pretty well. So they just did a couple of warm-ups just to get the butterflies out of their system before they played the real stuff. So the first piece we're going to do is called Toboggan Run. Just by a show of hands, how many people have ever really been on a toboggan? Raise your hand. Okay. So I explained to the students toboggans the way my father explained to me was, it's the one that's curved, kind of looks like a can on the side. And you put 4 people on a toboggan, and the person at the front, they usually wrap their legs around the strings. Give me a thumbs up if people know what I'm talking about. Okay, so you find the biggest, steepest hill ever in the neighborhood, and all 4 of you would go down it. But what would happen is right before you get to the bottom, the 3 people behind you all bail out. And if you're at the front, you got to make it all the way down. So this is called Toboggan Run, and you're going to kind of realize what happens to a snowball when you start at the top of the hill. It starts getting faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. So that's hopefully what's going to happen to our toboggan run. So here's Toboggan Run. Next one we're going to do is called Joyful and Triumphant. It has the melody that will come all ye faithful. So traditional Christmas carol kind of piece. With Joyful and Triumphant, you know, I usually use the explanation to students, you know, when mom or dad are driving the car, what do they have to follow on the street? They have to follow traffic signals, they have to follow signs. One of the big things that these ladies and gentlemen had to figure out was following the directions on the page, because they have what are called repeat signs, and they have things called first and second endings. And I had to explain to them, like, you know, when you buy something, you use $1. But then if you want the same thing again, you don't use the same dollar, you need another dollar. So explaining to them, first ending you use it one time and it's spent, it's gone. And then the next time when we come to another ending, the second ending is a completely different thing. So just explaining them how to follow the signs and how to navigate through the music. So that's what we worked on with this. So this is Joyful and Triumphant. So I just wanted to make sure, I know some of you saw it out there, our giving tree, our Indian Crest Middle School giving tree, but I just would like to give a quick explanation / commercial. Indian Crest's Giving Tree program helps many students and their families get some much needed items during holiday season. The Indian Crest Middle School Giving Tree has ornaments with gift card suggestions written on them. The tree will be in the lobby during concerts, so next to the last concert, and then move to the main office. If interested in participating, we ask that you pick an ornament, purchase the gift card that will allow families to supply presents for their children this holiday season, and return it to the main office by Monday, December 19, 2022. If you have any questions, please contact your child's school counselor. Thank you. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas from Indian Crest family. Thank you. Our last piece that we're going to do is, it's called Calypso Bells. So just change Calypso to Jingle Bells, that token, winter classic, Jingle Bells. But I always like adding multicultural sounds in the band program, so students explore different sounds around the world. Because one day they're going to go out in this big world and they're going to realize it's just not the Southern community. There's a lot of different things out there. So we're going to kind of go to the islands like Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, down that way, Cuba. So you're going to hear those kind of sounds. Could really quick, Mara and Caleb, right? Caleb. Okay, just check. Because we have a Kate and a Caleb. They both start with C's. Can you hold up the instruments you're playing really high? Okay, they're playing djembes. It starts with a D. D sound. Djembe. So listen for that. And then Sandy, can you hold up the congas? I'm just kidding. They're like 50 pounds. She's playing congas back there. You might know them as congas, but they're just congas. What other things we have? Claves. Hold up claves. No, not the cowbells. Claves. Castanets. Castanets. That's the yellow things. You guys are like very good. And the ever classic Will Ferrell, the cowbell. Yes, we need more cowbell. Okay, so be on the lookout for those sounds. And at the end of this, I'm going to ask each one of the rows to stand up for about 5 seconds. So have your cameras ready if you want to take a picture of your child on stage so you can actually see them, you can see my back. And then when that's all done, 7th and 8th graders, when the 6th graders exit the stage, you quietly and politely get up and you go set up your instruments and then come out on stage. Okay? This is our final one, 6th grade band, Calypso Row. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for playing of our national anthem. First concert selection that the 7th and 8th grade band is going to do, I originally had no intention of doing because a lot of times when I'm programming music, we're thinking, the holidays, you're thinking Hanukkah, you're thinking Christmas, you're thinking winter, and every once in a while I think to myself, there's other good band music out there. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. So I have had this piece of music probably for about 6 years. And every year I keep thinking about who's in the band, who's going to be in the band next year. And I know last year our 7th grade and 8th grade, or 6th grade and 7th grade woodwind players were very strong. And I said, let's do a challenge. So we're going to do the overture to Back to the Future, which is very challenging, very, very challenging. There's a lot of things for these players to consider and think about both rhythmically and also notation-wise. You might know them as hashtags or the pound sign on your phone. We call them sharps. They have a lot of those to read, which normally they don't read. So I hope you enjoy Back to the Future and enjoy it. Thank you. next selection we're going to do is called A Song for Hanukkah. And I really like this piece a lot. I've done different pieces. Another Hanukkah medley that we do every once in a while is called Hanukkah Highlights. So it's a medley of a bunch of different Hanukkah songs, which is very pretty. And it challenges the musicians, to put different musical elements. There's another piece that I do. It's called Hanukkah Dance, which my counterpart, Mr. Haggerty over at Valley, I think he's doing this year. That's a great piece too. A lot of energy. This one is very royal, very majestic. It's in a major key. It's just very beautiful, very powerful. So please enjoy a song of Hanukkah, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Okay, we're getting in the home stretch here. Last one for 7th and 8th grade band. So I'm here. Oh, sorry, I said I wouldn't do that anymore. Okay, so before we play our last piece, when the 7th and 8th grade band is done, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have them stand up in rows. So if you want 5 seconds, if you want to take a picture of your child, I highly recommend that. Then when they exit, and I want the band to listen to this too, once you exit to go and put away your instruments, I can't have you in that hallway because wonderful parents are going to come up on stage and help me move percussion equipment into the band room, and they're going to help put away chairs so band students can't be in the music room hallway. Okay, so get your instrument and go this way. Got it? Give me a thumbs up if you understand. Safe, well trained. Okay. Parents that are going to help, and thank you so much. In the band room, I took painter's tape. It's in blue. So any section that's in blue, that's where any percussion equipment can go, any band equipment. So if you can just grab whatever and just roll it in there, don't worry about where it goes, just as long as it's in the blue area. And if you're helping with chairs to set up for the jazz band, there are chair racks. You just have to stack them up 20 high, and I'll be just directing traffic and going crazy. So, but thank you very much for doing it. Our last piece that we're going to do is called Wizards in Winter. For the longest time, I thought it was Wizards of Winter or something like that. And I kept having to correct myself. Wizards in Winter. And how many of you know this piece by Trans-Siberian Orchestra? Okay, some people do. Okay, most of the students didn't know it, and finally I played the real recording for them like this week, and they're like, "Oh, that's how it's supposed to go." Should have did that earlier. Good teaching note for the future. Play it earlier. So this is really super challenging because for some of the woodwind players, they have 3 pages of music. Middle school, that's not heard of. Okay, and some of their pages are literally it's just black. Meaning there's just note upon note upon note upon note. So I said to them, they have to think like they're the electric guitar player in Wizards in Winter, and some people are the keyboard players, and some people are the electric bass. So we need to rock it out here, right? Right on. Okay, so this is Wizards in Winter, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so that was We Three Kings. Just to wake everybody up, if now everybody's awake. The next number we're going to do is called In the Mood. Classic jazz standard. This one's going to feature, let's see, Jacob Landis on alto saxophone. It's going to feature, let me stand over here, Micah Perry on tenor saxophone. And it's also going to feature Bailey Sprouse, right? Did I say it right? Sprouse on trumpet and Aubrey Wade on trumpet. Who's first? I always forget. You're first. Okay. And here we go. In the mood. Plus, I like doing in the mood in the wintertime because, you know, getting in the holiday spirit, mood, you know, there you go. Play on one. one we're going to do this evening is green sleeves. Now, most people think, oh, green sleeves, that's nice, that's pretty, it's really gentle. Not the way we do it. So green sleeves. This one, I always like doing, I kind of call them hybrid jazz pieces because it's swing. And that's one of the reasons we're in jazz band. We learn how to do swing music and rock. But this also has Latin. I think it's bossa nova. Bossa nova. So we add a bossa nova beat, and then we also do swing, and we kind of go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Do any solos in this one? Oh, we're featuring our flute section, which is part of the wood section. And since this is the last piece, I would just like to make sure I get all the thank yous correct. I'd like to thank Dr. Frank Gallagher, our superintendent for Inside School District. I'd like to thank Mrs. McCoy, our principal here at Crest. I'd like to thank Mr. Miller, our assistant principal, and our all-around awesome stage helper, Mr. Miller. I think we need to give Mr. Miller a round of applause. Thank you to our custodial staff for all their help. Thank you to my colleagues, Mrs. Brennan, Mr. Kujala, and Mrs. Gable for all their support. We're a really great team here at Crest, and we love working with each other. I'd like to thank all my students. Thank you, students. Thank you. Without them, I'm not here. Okay? I mean, I know it sounds funny, but it's the truth because it's the opportunity for me to pass on the musical knowledge that I've learned, and also I explain to people all the time. Sometimes I say to them, so what do you think I do for a job? And they're like, oh, you're a music teacher. I'm like, wrong. I'm like, what do you mean? And I say, I teach, the medium in which I teach you is music, but I'm trying to teach you to be young ladies and gentlemen, to be prepared, to be citizens, to go out into this world. That's what's more important to me, is how they're going to be in the world. And the last thing that I would like to say, you guys have anybody? Okay, anyway. And then I have one last request. If there are a couple parents that could help me get the drum set and the bells back to the band room at the end, I promise you donuts. Right, guys? Okay, is a donut with me. And then the final thing I'd like to say is I would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. And this is Green Sleeves. Oh, there's a flute solo, and there's also a saxophone solo. So they wanted to get the just deserved. So.